Picture this, your Facebook ads not only cover their costs, but generate exponential profits, driving your business to incredible growth. If you're tired of seeing your budgets vanish with little return, or feeling the pressure to prove your agency's worth, this video is for you. We're revealing the proven strategies to weaponize profitable scaling margins so that you can maximize the power of every dollar you spend on Facebook ads. I'm Charlie, welcome back to Disruptor School, where we do things a little bit differently. We're focusing on more success and less stress. We're here to help you scale your business and empower the community, elevating the market to see through their BS. Let's dive in. So let's start by understanding profitable scaling margin. So profitable scaling margin is actually letting you know how much money do you make off of every customer. This is not like ROAS, where it's a return on your ad spend based on attribution for money you spent today and revenue you got that has to do with a whole bunch of other things that have nothing to do with the ads you're actually running. This has everything to do with actual real unit economics to let you know how much more money could you spend to acquire every transaction, which ultimately lets you know what is the margin of profit you have to scale into. So in order to understand profitable scaling margin, there are three numbers you absolutely must know. First, blended CPA. How much does it cost across your entire business to acquire a transaction? We're going to bake in all marketing efforts, retention, subscriptions, Google, TikTok, Facebook, everything. Money out, number of transactions that are coming in. That is fundamentally important. So the second number we need to understand is frequency of purchase, or cash flow cycles. Roughly, how many times does the average person buy from you? And what's the time in between those purchases? And lastly, we need to understand LTV. What is the lifetime value of these customers? Because ultimately, we need to understand how much money every customer is worth. And bonus points if you do this against each individual product that somebody buys when it's their first purchase with your business. This number is the single most predictive data point in your customer journey. So here's an example of some hypothetical numbers. Let's say the LTV of a customer is $200 and CPA plus COGS is like $40 and the average person buys 2.5 times. Well, our PSM would be 2. That's 200 LTV divided by 40 times 2.5. So what this means is we could pay twice as much. Our CPA could be twice as high before we break even. This is incredibly important because it gets us down to the world's most important question when it comes to digital marketing. Can I spend more? So there are a couple factors we need to really take into account when understanding profitable scaling margin. And the first one, of course, is ad quality and relevance. If you have bad ads, it's going to be hard to get a good CPA. And if you attract bad customers, it's going to be hard to get a good LTV. The second thing we need to understand is media mix. Facebook is by no means the only channel. We have people that buy from us to just talk to other people on the street. We also have email, probably SMS going. We might have Google search or TikTok. There's a bunch of different ways that people can embrace our brand. And to be fair, they might just buy from us and then go back to the website and buy again. Not every transaction costs the same amount. And we need to understand that really it's not about how much does each individual transaction cost. It's what is the unit cost for all transactions. That is blended CPA. And the easiest way to find that is total money spent divided by total number of transactions. And that number is actually really, really stable week over week, or at least it should be. I can't tell you how many times we've worked with brands where we've doubled their budget every 30 days, but they never touch Google search and they never improve their email. And they worried about their blended CPA going up and up and up. But if you actually spend more time optimizing and spending more on those far more profitable channels like search or Amazon, or even just refining your email flows, your blended CPA will come down because the volume of transactions in the business go up, even though your ad spend doesn't move nearly as much. The last part that we need to understand, and this is something that nobody else is talking about, is cash flow cycle. Everybody's pushing for day one profitability, but how long does it take for somebody that buys from you the first time to buy from you a second time? Is it 60 days? Is it 90 days? Is it 180 days? Do they never buy from you ever again? If we know we're going to make $100 profit over 18 months, that's great. But I'd rather potentially make a $30 profit over 45 days because I can reinvest that money and run it 6 times. 6 times 30 is 180. That's nearly twice as much profit. Plus, I'm going to be getting more and more customers with all that. So it actually grows exponentially. So now that we know our profitable scaling margin, how do we scale profitably, right? Well, the first thing we need to know is scale doesn't happen with big moves. We want to look at incremental scaling, and small moves compound over time and can make dramatic changes. Remember, the most important question is, can I spend more? Can I increase my budget? And the only way to really know that is your PSM above target? Are you doing better than you could? Can you be less efficient to get more volume? And if the answer is yes, then we can raise our budget. Now, instead of doing 20%, 50%, 100% changes, what if you did 5%? 5% Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 3 times a week will double your budget every month. If you double your budget every month, that'll give you a 37 times greater budget by the end of the year. Can you handle 37 times greater budget? Probably not. If you can say yes more often than you say no, then you're going to scale the business. And now every decision in your business and in your marketing comes down to a simple question. What is the impact on PSM? Can I always say yes when it comes time to increase my budget? And if the answer is yes, you don't have any other problems to solve. And if the answer is no, you'll probably know that a week or two in advance. So let's talk about A/B testing real quick, because it's incredibly important, but most people actually wildly misvalue this. If your PSM is good enough to raise your budget, the worst thing you could do is actually A/B test your ads or your targeting or anything at the front end of your funnel. Instead, you should be A/B testing your landing pages to improve conversion rate. You should honestly also be getting rid of some of your offers. Focus on the PSM that is best for your business. And remember, if you can get the average second purchase rate to go from 5% to 10, you can afford a CPA exponentially higher than you can right now. That change is also a lot stickier. Customer journeys after buying a single product don't change that much over time, but your ad could die tomorrow. The way you improve PSM is by building a better business. And ultimately, good businesses scale ad accounts. It's not the other way around, despite what all the performance marketers and cost cap pros will tell you. And the last thing here is obviously budget allocation. We talked about it before, but spend the money where the money is best spent and look for untapped potential. Remember, if you've doubled your Facebook budget over the last 30 days, just by, adding 5% 3 times a week, but you haven't touched your search, the easiest way to reduce your blended CPA is just adding more money where the return is a lot better. If you can add more budget to search and it brings down your blended CPA, the worst thing you could do is touch your Facebook ad. So the most important thing is understand where you have unleveraged potential and make changes where they are stickiest. And this happens longer in the customer journey, i.e. second, third purchase. Can we get those people to spend a little bit more money? Can they buy a second time a little bit more often? And where are we more efficient? Lower in the funnel. Can we spend a little bit more money on the platforms that live there? So the last thing we need to understand is monitoring this stuff and doing analysis. The honest truth is these numbers don't change that often. If you were to run this analysis once a month, that's perfectly fine. What you need to know more than anything is, what is my allowable PSM? And understand that when you improve your volume, you don't need as high a margin on every transaction. 1% of $1 million is a lot more than 90% of $100. So now that we know what a profitable scaling margin is, let's dive into how to build offers that scale. And I made this video right here just for that. This is how you can understand how to reduce CAC while improving AOV and LTV. And it's super easy and nobody else is talking about it. So check it out. Until next time, I'll see you on the internet. Bye.